Okay, so this is the last example for practicing for the CAD A1s. This is a fairly simple one. It looks a bit tricky, but I don't think it should be that tricky. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by creating the outer shape of this model, of this bracket. So and the total distance from edge to edge would be at 75 and a radius of 12, so that should be 87 millimeters in distance and a thickness of 60. Right, so let's go ahead and create that. So can just dimension this. This is 87 and this is 60. Alright, let's just constrain everything. To there, that's perfect. And we can extrude this just to make, we don't want to have too many sketches open at the same time because it just gets a bit complicated. This is a thickness of 5 millimeters. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now you can go two ways about it. You can start off by cutting out an area over here and creating that little rounded piece, or you can go ahead and start cutting out this area over here. So I'm going to go ahead with this. I'm going to try and work with everything on this plane first, and then I'll tend to that last part. However, I will just cut out the area over here now so that later on it's just easier. So we know that it's a distance, this point is a distance of 35 from this line, and we know that this is a diameter of 24 and it's in line with the midpoint. Okay, so what we can do is let's create a sketch on here. We just take a point and place it somewhere there, and let's just project geometry this entire thing, and now we can dimension this as 35. There we go. Let's just make sure that it is constrained to that. There we go. And we can create a circle somewhere here. Let's dimension this. This was diameter of 24. Alright, it is in line. Let's just make sure, and then let's make it a tangent to that point. There we go, that's perfect. Now we can take this a line from there to there, and we can make that a tangent as well to the circle. You can do the same thing, you can repeat the same process and do it on this side. To make life easier, let's just create a line from there to there. Let's just trim this up quickly. Right, and that as well. And then let's just mirror everything. So this, we don't have to actually mirror the circle itself. We'll align and apply, and there we have that feature created. Then we can just cut this piece out over here. So let's just go to model, extrude 1, 2, cut through all, and there we have that cut out. Now we just create the holes we can actually create last on this surface. Let's just take out this area over here. So this is a thickness of 5 and that's 15, so this entire thickness of this entire area that's taken out is going to be 20 millimeters, we can get back to creating this circle or half circle later on. Let's just take that out for now. This is a height of, what height do they give here? Oh, this would be 15, so it would be a diameter of 30, so this would be 20, and this would, the distance here would be 30. Okay, so we create a sketch on here, project geometry, so we can just take another rectangle and let's just make sure everything is in line, and there we go. So this would be 20 and this would be 30. There we go. We can cut this out now. There we go. So if we turn this, then we will have that feature coming in later. Let's just finish everything here. We need to create this hole over here, which is a diameter of 8 millimeters. So we can we can also create these two holes, right, with 6 millimeters and 1 thread. Okay, so let's just create that. Project geometry, and then we can create a hole over here. This is a normal hole. This is diameter 8. Okay, that's one. I just want to make sure this is 48 millimeters from each other, so it should be 24 from there, from the center line, of course. So let's just go to 3D sketch again. Let's just run that out like that, and then let's just put in a point here and here, and then just dimension them. So from here to here should be 24, and from here to here should be 48. Okay. The thing is that they need to be more or less in that center over there. This is a radius of 6. Just want to see something quickly. I think I'm missing something. Okay. Before, let's just finish that sketch quickly. Let us just do this fillet. Right. This is 1 and 2. This is a fillet of 6 millimeters. So let's just put in 6. There we go. Okay. Right. So now if we come back to the sketch, let us just finish. Let us remove the sketch completely. We'll restart. Okay. So now we go to a sketch, and we can create 2 points. There we go. So we have these points now, right? So if we go to hole 1, 2, and if we go there, this should be isometric, and it is 6 if I'm not mistaken. 6 and 1. Let's just see. 6 and 1, and it's 2, right? Perfect. So let's just create them. There we go. So now we have those two threaded holes created. The last thing that we do need to do now is create that semicircle coming out from there. Actually, not the last thing, the second last thing. So let's create before we do that, let's create a plane over here, right? That is wrong. Create a plane here, and then actually, you know what? Let's do this. Just makes life so much easier. Just new sketches. There we go. We need to create a circle, and this is radius 15 and radius 10. So this would be diameter 30 and diameter 20 from the center. Okay, so there's the center over there. So let's create a circle from here and another one, and then just dimension these as this would be 30 and this would be 20, right? And then what we can do is let us just create a line from here to there and from there to there. Okay, because we're only going to extrude this little portion over here, so we basically can trim this and that away. Alright, if we extrude this, that little portion, let's take it to the back. It needs to be a depth of 15, right? So this should be 15. There we go. And that is how that piece is created. There is a mistake there though. That should be covered as well. So let's just go back there quickly. Let's just go completely back. The line shouldn't be over here, it should be on this side. So let's just create there, to there, and from here to there. Just make sure everything is in line, of course. Okay. Now we can extrude that. There we go. Okay, so if we look at that, there we go. So that area is now extruded. There's a bit of a slight of a problem because this is not captured. It's looking very slightly off, so something is a problem over here. Let me go back over, and what we can do, let's remove these lines, and just do project geometry of everything. Okay, so let's do this. Let's create from this point to this point. We'll create a rectangle there, and then we obviously just have to fill those in as well. So if we go to extrude now, just go to that side. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and on this side it's 5, 6, and 7. So that entire thing should be made. There we go. So if you have a look at that now, that is better. So yeah, there we go. So now that we have that created, we need to create this hole that's over here, the ISO hole, which is 3 by 0.5 and it's 5 millimeters deep. So let's create a plane here. There we go. Okay, so it's a tangent then. And let's create a sketch on this plane. Let's place this point over here. And it is, they don't give us a distance, they kinda, not really. Okay, easy in line with these is it, let's just have a look here quickly. It's not in line. Okay, so it would be, actually this would be the midpoint of this little, if you look at this from year to year, the midpoint between that line would be the midpoint of the whole. So it's a bit confusing, I guess, but let's just use project geometry there, and then we can just centralize it. There we go. That should be right. Let's just make sure that this is also centralized, and then we can create the whole feature. It's an ISO hole. This was 3 millimeters, 3 by 0.5 with a depth of 5 millimeters. Okay, so look there, that should do it. Let's just take it extra, doesn't really matter because it's not going to interfere with anything on this side. Just select through all. Okay, and visibility. Okay, so there you have your final model created. If you have a look, not too happy with this part of it. It's looking a bit wacky to me. This is too round, so just want to go back to this extrusion quickly. This part I'm not liking. It should be straight. If we have a look here, and if we zoom in a little bit, just, you can see that this is straight, it's not rounded out. So the way we can do that actually is if we just draw a line from there to there, and let's just make this in line with that point, then we can make tangents basically, and okay, so obviously we won't extrude this little portion over here. There's quite a bit here. There should be an easier way to do it, but yeah, let's just make this parallel to that line, and this should be parallel to that line, and then Let's just make sure that these are proper tangents to these circles. Okay, and now if we extrude this, sketch 7. Okay, so let's finish the 2D sketch part. See, we have this, but I don't want to have that thing, so okay. Let's actually just finish this, and then this will delete the extrusion, and then recreate it. So if we extrude 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, that will be extruded, and this piece and that piece. Okay, there we go. So now it looks much better. You can see it goes straight instead of curving like that, it goes straight. Okay, so the problem is we have to create this little okay, so we just have to recreate this entire part. This is the one thing that messes us up quite a bit. So there and there. Okay, new sketch on here. Project geometry this part, take a point. So the point is in line with that and that already, but just to make sure. Okay, and then we can create the whole feature. 3 by 0.5, that should be fine. And then visibility. Okay, there we have it. So that is your final piece created. If we want, let's just zoom out from here quickly. So that is the final piece created. There's no chamfers that we need to create or anything like that. No. Actually, this looks like a bit of a rib over here. Not a rib, a fillet, but they don't give us the radius of the fillet, so I'm just going to leave it like that. If you have a look, see, that should be more curved. What we could do is, let's just, oh, it's 6, okay, that's fine. It's 6 millimeters. That's a, yeah, typical, so it should have been all over. So yeah, it's 6, radius of 6. So if you want, we can actually have a look, just visibility, and let's create a new sketch there. And if we slice this, then you can see, so it should look something like that. It matches this description over here. The description over here is the same as that. Obviously that is just seen from the opposite side, so if we do the bottom, there we have it. So it's the same thing as this. Okay, and that is the third or the final model that you need to create for the CAD A1s.